ahead and doing some combination images. So what I'm going to do for my surreal combination juxtaposition image is I'm going to, take this picture of Dotonbori, Japan, and combine a couple of other images into that image. So some things I'm going to want to do, first of all, once I find Dotonbori again. I'm going to go ahead and do just a quick select subject and make sure that I can have kind of my background copied. Nope, that didn't do it. Okay, so I'm going to do instead Control B, so it's deselected. I'm going to go select a color range. I'm going to select this color, and then I'm going to get rid of some of this, like the stuff that's down here. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and make sure I'm duplicated. And then I'm going to go into select layer mask. Okay. And in my layer mask, I want to make sure that this thing that's selected here, I don't want the river selected right now. So I'm going to go ahead and make my brush size a lot bigger. I'm going to do the minus. Okay. I'm not going to have this selected here, because I don't want anything like that. And I see it's sort of selected here, so I don't want that. I don't want any of that. I'm just trying to get this the background there. So I'm just making sure I don't have any of this stuff. All right, should be good. We have now this selection of the sky. There's something up here that looks like it's not selected. And I think up here. So just make sure I'm looking at this little picture up here to help me know what I'm selecting and what I haven't selected, in case there's something I'm missing. All right. Might want to see what the marching ants looks like. Still kind of don't want any of these things. I want all of that onto its own little layer. So it helps to kind of like look around at what you're selecting and what you aren't. All right. That looks pretty good. Okay. And then I actually want, I don't want the sky selected. I want the other part selected. Looks like there's a little bit that's not selected here. All right. Cool. So I'm going to make sure that this is a new layer. I want to make sure my smart radius is on, and it's done a good selection of the smart radius. All right, now we're good. Okay. All right, so now with that selection, you'll see that this is no longer selected. So now I can put something in the background there pretty easily. So I'm going to go ahead and take this blood moon here and put it in the background. So remember, if you're not just selecting just on object, you're selecting the whole image. We can go Control A and Control C. Go back to your image here on a new layer, Control V. Control T will transform the image. And now we have this big, scary moon that's coming up behind it. Okay. I think I still want to, I might want to put this behind here. Let's see. No. There we go. No. I just don't like quite this selection here. So I might need to, yeah, I would, if I wasn't just doing a demo, I'd actually go back into my selection and really make sure that this is cleaner. Because that kind of faded look, I don't really like that. Okay, but now I have this image behind it. Okay, I might want to mirror some of that in here. Okay, because these are both images that seem to match pretty well, I don't need to do too much color matching right now. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'll take this little guy. All right, so this one should work with selecting the subject. Let's see how well it selects the subject. It selected the subject pretty dang well. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that it's a good selection by going into my layer mask here. I'm going to make sure that my smart radius is on. Make sure it's good and clear. All right. So now I have this little guy. I'm going to go ahead and Control A, Control C, and go back to my image here. All right, so honestly, I really like that spot, but I'm going to probably still do some movements here. So I want to make sure now this doesn't quite match, and it's not quite the right size that I want, right? So I'm going to go ahead and Control T. Remember, transform is so useful. Okay, so I can change the size, and I can also go over to the corner and like move it around. Okay, so I can kind of make this little llama appear off here. All right. I think I like it right in the center, honestly. Now there's some things I'm going to have to change. This. If you can see, there's just a little bit of a halo effect happening around the llama or alpaca. So I'm going to have to change the colors with her a little bit to make her look a little bit better. But it's all about making sure you have these like kind of interesting things happening, and then you're going to have to really color match. So this is kind of your sort of selection. I think I'm going to put, is that it? No. I'm going to put this guy coming out of the water because I think that would look kind of cool. things are looking pretty good. I have got four different images that I've combined. But one thing that I want to make sure I do at this point is to make sure that all of my colors match. So an easy way to do that is to do the color match technique. So that is, make sure your object is selected. Go to Image, Adjustments, and do a match color. Make sure you choose the source. So I'm going to choose Dotonbori and make sure it's the background layer. And you'll see that my elk has now changed very much in terms of the color choices. I can bring down some of that intensity, but that's going to make him look like he belongs in this scene a lot better. I'm going to do the same for all of my images here. So I'm going to do that also for this one. That's interesting. It takes away all of the color, the red color. So instead of that, I think what I'll do then instead is take this image and we're going to match that color to this. So we're going to match that too. So we're going to raise this. And we're going to bring all of this down. A lot. A lot, a lot. Okay, I might just end up playing with the curves in here. Making this just a little brighter. So that pops a little bit more. Maybe too much. Do it like that. Okay, and I still need to do that with my llama. All right, so now they look like they belong in the scene. That looks like the reflected light is no longer that yellowy light. I might want to do, since we do have kind of a red tinge here, I might end up making things a little more red as just a adjustment. I'm doing a gradient map, oops, over the whole thing. right, so I think that for me looks pretty good. I feel like I blended things together. You know, I could do a little bit better with the reflection. I could make that I could actually create a reflection of the elk, but I think for now, I think I like this combination I've created, you know, kind of an interesting monstrosity for my surreal image here of Dotonbury. And so hopefully that kind of helps you with your selection and color matching.